Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. And before I get started, I want to say to any people who are a fan of Arknights out there, yes, I am very, at this point, much aware of the events and everything that was announced and released. We'll be getting there. Give me time. Other people like Genshin fans deserve their limelight too. So here we are. I'm back with these, and I'm going to be listening to Irresistible Force as well as Incontro. I'm going to be listening to both of them purely because I know they don't really relate, but I also know that the one being so short isn't really going to find an easy place to join another song. So I figured I might as well just listen to them both here and just tackle them both since it's been over a week since I've done anything from any game at all. So without further ado, let's go. It's kind of weird getting back into this since I've heard basically nothing but anime openings all week. This might be interesting to see what stands out to me during this whole piece. Alright, it's already phrased like a battle theme. It's got that suspense that sits on there. It feels like you're like nearby to an enemy, but you haven't engaged fully yet. That's what I'm getting off this one. Still adore the instrument choices for these songs. The flute is just so beautiful. The hollow, chambery echo of a bamboo flute. You can never have too much of that. Alright, we're getting a little bit more serious here. Like, it still feels like a battle theme, but like we still haven't entered yet. Maybe. Maybe that was the entrance. This also just kind of feels like a journey track, like you might be in an unfamiliar area, maybe, where you're not sure if you're safe or not. Ooh. I like that everything kind of played the same notes there. The uniformity was really pleasant. Here we're playing off that suspense again. Ooh. Oh, okay. I honestly thought it was going to cycle back into the same as the first time it went off to a different section. I thought it was just going to repeat. But this is different. It's definitely got the same energy to it. And, okay. This is kind of more what I expected it to start out with. That section before was a little strange. In a good way. It's just kind of a vibe check that I didn't anticipate. Yeah, get those rim clicks in there. Add more reverb. Crank it up. I love that the rim clicks are like all right here too. Back of the headphones on the one side. A little bit of the reverb on this side. It's good spatial mixing, of course. Now it's gonna fade out. Yep. And there it is. So strangely, I think this one kind of reminds me a little bit of Raiden's battle theme and a little bit of the child battle theme. Just a little bit, especially at the beginning for the child part. Definitely a battle theme. This has got to be one of the cleanest battle themes I've heard, even from Genshin, like within that music scope. The way it was phrased was so confusing to my ear because I never could quite tell if I was actively in the battle, and I think that that says something about the emotion you should be feeling in that moment. It's definitely a battle theme. It's got the tension for it. It's got the phrasing for it. It makes you swell with that anxiety in the music, and that definitely would reflect in the player. It's so smooth about it. There's no clear, distinct line between phases or anything, so I think this might be like a mini-boss, maybe like something that doesn't have huge big phases you have to deal with and like reconfigure your strategy. Maybe it's just a very large overworld enemy that you have to deal with at some point that just kind of has the one phase that you suffer through, and it takes a while. So that's an interesting sound. I'm used to hearing the battle themes that are pretty soft, at least comparatively to this one. This one has a scale unlike the regular overworld battle themes that I'm used to hearing from Genshin. It just feels more important. There's an impact that this one's hitting that the others just haven't. But it's definitely not like Raiden's actual battle theme or etc. You know, like the big bosses that you have to deal with multiple phases on. I know I mentioned those rim clicks in there. Those were really nice. I don't often pay too close attention to those percussive elements because they tend to just be in existence in a song mix, but their use in this song felt a lot more spacious. Like I had mentioned, they're in this ear, kind of in the back too. They're not like dead center in the ear. They're a little bit behind, but then the reverb felt like it was bouncing off a wall in this ear. So that's a really cool, like spatial thing to do with the sound, is allowing the reverb to echo and resonate in this ear, even though the sound came from over here. That's just a lot of clever thinking when it gets down to the mixing and mastering portion of a song. And I love the way that felt. It made me feel like I was in a chasm, like if I was in the Grand Canyon. Like this picture that comes with this song kind of gives me that feeling of like I'm in there and I'm hearing the sound of these war drums bouncing off of the rock walls, and that's just really cool. I've always enjoyed those environmental aspects, and the fact that this is mixed into the song and not just put into the game for the sake of its own spatial like continuity, it's cool. I really appreciate that. Sound design is, as everyone knows probably at this point, one of my favorite things in these songs from all these games. They do such a good job of making the song feel like it fits the space rather than just being a song to kind of vaguely fit the mood. But it also had an air of like adventurous curiosity, especially if it's a boss theme and there's this creature that's either watching you from across whatever location you're in and just waiting to strike, or like you're aware that they're in the area but you're not sure where they are, if they're like blending into the rocks, if they have some sort of a cloak, some sort of a camouflage going on. It's hard to know for sure, but it definitely has that like lifted sound to it, a little bit more of that curiosity than just a raw mystery where you're aware of some of the details but you don't have the entire story until it's revealed to you. That's really where this song is shining for me. I hope I'm correct that it's a boss theme. It's gotta be. I mean, I would be amazed if this was just like a standard overworld theme that's just playing while you're running around with no threat. This has way too much tension for that. But either way, that's enough about this song. Let's move on to Incontro and see what that one has. I know it'll be plenty different, but I am curious nonetheless. Woo! Yeah, completely different vibe. All right. Got to get that other sound out of my head. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. We going tango? All right. Love that. I'm a sucker for that pitch bend there. That's beautiful. little spicy with the guitar. Ooh. Getting classical in here. Ooh, nice. Short, very percussive on the guitar there. Ooh, speaking of percussion. Ooh, offbeat. That's a great way to wake up the listener. I love that. I really like that addition, actually. That offbeat tambourine is doing a lot for me. Ooh. 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 I love that ending. Ooh. That was really fun. I mean, I love myself a good tango. That feel is just, it's just something in my blood. I can't help but vibe with it. But I loved the addition of the classical guitar in there to add some like percussive little bits in there. I mean, of course, they were playing through a normal like accentual pass with the guitar itself, but then just having those little short plucks in there was really nice. And then immediately following up that percussive sound with actual percussion that caught me off guard with that tambourine, and then that off rhythm for the tambourine was such a great decision. That was probably the best decision made in this entire song. Like, the whole piece flows exactly as you would expect a tango to. It follows that exact feel, and it definitely captures that exact energy. It's doing what it needs to do. It's a tango. But that offbeat tambourine is something I actually have not heard in a tango. Usually they stay on the down or upbeat. They don't change it a lot like this one. So that was pretty unique for me, at least. I haven't heard too much tango in my life, but I have heard enough to not recognize that specific shift. And I really do like that. And then that adorable little piece at the end, the ba-da-ba-da, I love that. That's so poppy. Like like that doesn't really feel like it should work, but it totally does. I haven't heard that lift either. Just like with the tambourine, that was a little new. And the fact that they ended it on such a nice resolution, I mean, that was expected. I mean, tangos tend to end on very nice resolutions, but that was just so fun. The lead into that resolution was absolutely a joy to listen to. I love the energy on this one. I definitely didn't expect a tango after what I just heard, but I am definitely not mad that that's what that was. But aside from that, I really don't have much else to say on this one. It was a pretty short song, and I think I've made all the points that I really wanted to make here. So thank you also very much for watching. Thank you for being patient with me while I was doing my anime week thing. For those of you who stuck around and have just been either skipping those or watching those, thank you extra if you have been watching those. But that's basically it. I'm just getting back into doing my game stuff again, listening to these songs, hearing what they have to offer, and I know that there is a lot of content that has come out recently, and I will be getting to it, but we have a lot to catch up on as well. So if you like this video and you want to follow me and support me to see more in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!